Hello, this is Cindy Ball and I am the owner of this channel, and I thought I'd give a quick update. I had fully intended with this tour that I'm doing this year, living out of my car, to do weekly updates, posting all the time. Yeah, that did not happen at all. It's way harder to do on the road than I imagined. And so I will do this update now and then probably not another thing until the first of the year. I won't finish this tour until the middle of November. So that I can promise you there won't be time on the road to do any of these editing of videos. I started an organization called the National Ladies Homestead Gathering back in 2011. And this tour was to visit all the chapters that we have across the United States. It has been absolutely incredible. Like, I can't even begin to tell you all that I have benefited from visiting homesteads, meeting these women, hearing the stories, sitting with these women. It's just been incredible, especially visiting the different parts of the country and where they live. This has been my goal, is to visit all these chapters and to meet these women. That is my heart. That has been my heart since I started this organization, was the community of homesteading women. So I thought I'd give you a quick update though of where I've been and what's coming up. Starting next Sunday actually is when I hit the road again. So since January, I have driven right around 13,000 miles. I've done the whole eastern seaboard from the Syracuse area in New York all the way down to Georgia. In those 13,000 miles, I have met a lot of women, hundreds of hours of sitting and chatting and listening to stories. And gosh, it's been incredible. I have to think through this more for my future videos to kind of express, because my heart is so full and there's so many memories. Thank goodness I've been taking lots of video and pictures so that I will remember all the aspects of this tour. In January this year, January 22nd to be specific, I left Pennsylvania and I drove down to Tennessee. That was the first chapter that I was able to visit in Hawkins County. What a great time we had there. Wait. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. And then I drove down to Georgia, and we have a lot of chapters in that area in Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina. And I was able to stay in a friend's camper. And so from that camper, I used that as my home base. And so I was able to visit all the chapters at that time. But it was fantastic. The National Ladies Homestead Gathering actually started in Georgia on my homestead that I had there. So I lived in Georgia for almost 20 years. So lots of friends. So this time that I was in Georgia was almost like a family reunion, if you will, with friends. And we had such a great time. So I was able to visit with friends, see their homesteads. And I actually took some interviews with women who were doing some really creative things on their homesteads. Super excited to share those with you in a future project. But anyways, that was the first start of my tour. So I was down there from the end of January until the end of February. So I think that was like 5 or 6 weeks that I was down in the southern part of the country. And it was fantastic. One of the stories I'll tell you, I have so many stories. I mean, lots and lots of stories to tell you, but those will be for the future YouTube videos that I'm doing. But one of them, the first night that I was actually camping in my car, I was in Virginia and I had booked a night at a KOA that was there. And a friend didn't live too far from me, and she said, Cindy, it's supposed to be so cold tonight. Why don't you just come and stay with me at my house? And I said, because I have to do this. Like, the whole tour is about getting out of your comfort zone and doing things outside of your comfort zone. And so I said, I've never stayed in my car when it's super cold. So I want to see if I can do it. And I said, I promise if things get really, really cold, I will call you and I'll come over to your house. And she's like, okay. So I had brought along with me my electric blanket, and I have a Jackery, which is like a portable battery pack, a portable generator, that kind of thing. So I had plugged my electric blanket into that, and I was so warm and toasty. In fact, I actually got hot. and I started throwing off covers and stuff like that. But yeah, Piper and I did great that night and woke up and, there's snow on the ground and all that. And so it was really nice to know that I was still good and comfortable, even when it was, below 32 degrees. So that's just one story. So in April, I was 3 weeks in Ohio and Western Pennsylvania, and I saw all the chapters in those areas. What a fantastic time I had there. Like, those are the women who really get into the community and socializing and doing field trips. And I was go the entire time that I was in the Ohio area with these different chapters, and Western PA. Just lots of fun memories. And I'll share some video and pictures in future YouTube videos that I put up. And then I came home after 3 weeks of being in that area for a week. And then I went to the beach with 2 of my daughters. One daughter was from Colorado. She and her family flew in, met up with my other daughter in North Carolina, and we all met on the beach in North Carolina. So I was there for a week, much needed, just some downtime, being with family, getting to love on my grandkids. And then from there, I drove to Oklahoma, and I spent the whole month of May in Oklahoma, northeastern Oklahoma, and southwestern Missouri. We have quite a few chapters in that area. Fantastic time. The weather was a little bit crazy. I did actually sleep in a storm shelter one night, and one of the campgrounds that I was staying in, I left on a Saturday, and the next Saturday it was blown over with a tornado. And so anyways, it was a great time though. Again, just meeting the women and hearing the stories and being able to visit their homesteads and hearing their stories and how they got into homesteading and why they continue in homesteading and the benefits for themselves and also for their families. So after a month in Oklahoma and Missouri, I quickly drove over to Tennessee, met again with a couple of chapters there, and then did the Homestead Festival in Tennessee, and then drove home through Kentucky. I was home for 36 hours, and then I flew to Montana. And so for those of you who don't know, I've lived in Montana at a guest ranch, and it's just outside of Yellowstone Park. And I went back to train the couple that actually took over my position that I had created as activity director. And so I was able to be there for a week. It was fabulous. We had snow. I flew from Montana. It was 33 degrees when I left in the morning. I flew back into Philadelphia and it was 95 degrees. So yeah, big, big change. And so I have been here since the end of June in this beautiful space, connected via an awning to my daughter and her family and 5 of my 9 grandchildren. And so it's been a fabulous 6 weeks just being here and being able to get ready for this next part of the journey, which begins August 4th. So once I start on August 4th, I will be headed to Western Pennsylvania to meet up again with some friends now because I've been there and I've spent time with them. So I will spend a night, but get to see a lot of people. We're doing like a potluck dinner. And then I will head to Iowa, and then up to northern Idaho, Washington State, Oregon, visiting my brother in Sacramento area of California. And then I'll have a little bit of time there to hit some of the national parks. That's been on my list for this year, is in the travels, hoping to see some of the national parks along the way. I was able to visit Mammoth Caves. I forgot that it was in Kentucky. So when I was driving up through Kentucky after Tennessee on my way to Pennsylvania, I saw the sign. So I quickly pulled off and was able to do a quick tour, a self-guided tour of Mammoth Cave. That's on my list, is to do a couple of the national parks going down the coast of California and then across Nevada. I really want to see Death Valley and Joshua Tree. And then I will come across to Arizona. I have 2 of my kids actually that live there, so I will be meeting up. And I have some friends that live there, so getting to meet them for a couple days. And then I will finish up visiting the chapters in Texas. And so it's around the Fort Worth, Dallas-Fort Worth area, and we have a chapter there. And so then after that, that's towards the end of October, then I will drive over to Georgia for an executive team planning meeting for next year, and then head to North Carolina to be with family. And after that, I will head back to Pennsylvania, to my home here. It's going to be a full couple of 3.5 months. I'm super excited. A lot more camping on this one in my car, but also just the joy of getting to meet more of our women who are involved with the National Ladies Homestead Gathering. I just want to shout out to Roots and Harvest. They have been my sponsor for this tour. They have just been incredibly wonderful. I write blogs for them and I post about their products, which I absolutely love. I mean, I use their products. I used their products before they even contacted me about doing, blogs for them. And so it's been a lot of fun working with them. I have such a huge respect for the company. So if you follow the tour and you feel like it, just give a shout out to Roots and Harvest and just tell them thank you, because they've been a huge supporter, not just financially, but just the encouragement and support that I get for what I am doing. So it's been great. When I'm back in November, I will be here. I'll fly down to North Carolina again to be with my folks for Thanksgiving. And then one of my daughters in Colorado is actually moving to a different base. Her husband's with the Army. And so I will be flying out to help them move. And that will bring me up to the 20th of December. And so that will conclude my tour, my travels, everything for 2024. So thanks for being here. I can't wait to show you in more detail what these tours have been about and let you meet the women that I was able to meet and see parts of the country and to see the homesteads and what this community of homesteading women is accomplishing. They are inspirational, motivational, encouraging, and just amazing women, but to be able to spend that one-on-one time with them has been a dream come true, literally. I've always wanted to visit our chapters, and so to be able to do that this year has just been, it's been incredible. So thank you again for your support. I appreciate you so much. And if you would like and subscribe, that would be amazing, because then you won't miss any of the videos that I will be posting the beginning of the new year. So thank you. I will see you on the road. You can follow me on Facebook. That's typically where I post, especially in the stories, because they're quick. Have a super day, and I will see you on the road.